All right, so we're gonna get rolling. I'm not always gonna put up the notes, but I wanted to try to have it at least for Unit 1, so if you get a little bit behind, you can kind of catch back up. Okay, so we're gonna start Unit 1, Day 1, that's function notation. So function notation is that idea of, that you're writing it as f of x as opposed to writing it as y. So function notation, the reason we use it is because one, it's a little bit more formal. Two, it allows you to then plug in values for x, so you can write it, like this. And that's telling you that you're taking 1, plugging in for x, all right? So it's just a different way of writing. It's a little bit more formal way of writing, and it's the way you're gonna see it the most often in this class. So this first one, we have g of y is equal to 7 minus 3y, and then it's asking you to find g of 0. All right, so that's saying take 0 and plug it into that g equation. Let me just zoom in just a little bit for you guys and readjust. Okay, so that means we're gonna plug it in. 7 minus, we're plugging it in for y there. This is obviously equal to 0, so we would say that g of 0 is equal to 7. Again, this is real basic introduction. So I get that, you might not need to show all the work, but you have to show the work to get the credit. So make sure you're showing all your work as you guys are working through. Next one, so if you look at the first one versus the second one, the first one is telling you to take a number and plug it in. So if you take a number and plug it in, you get a number back as your answer. So we just got the answer of 7. This second one is asking us to plug in x minus 1. So if it's telling you to plug in essentially like another equation or expression, you're gonna get an expression back. So we're gonna take this whole x minus 1 and we're gonna plug it into that f equation. So it's going to look like, so we went ahead and we replaced this whole entire x minus 1, replaced that x. And then we need to go through and we need to simplify. So we would distribute our 2, so we'd have 2x minus 2 minus 3, and this would give us 2x minus 5. All right, so we would say that f of x minus 1 is equal to 2x minus 5. So again, we plugged in an expression, we plugged in an x, we're gonna get back an answer that has x's left in it. Okay, gonna pick up the pace a little bit. So if you look at this next one, okay, you have h of t is equal to t squared minus 2t, and it wants you to find h of 2. So you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna take 2, you're gonna plug it in. Now when you plug it in, you plug it into any place that you see that variable. So we said this was h of t, so we're plugging it in anywhere we see a t. So we're gonna have 2 squared minus 2 times another 2. So plugged it in for both t values. 2 squared is obviously equal to 4 minus 4. This is gonna end up giving us that h of 2 is equal to 0. Moving over here, we have a volume equation. So this is the volume of a sphere. So if we were gonna do this one, it wants us to take and plug in 2r anywhere that we see that r. So we're plugging it in right there. So it's gonna be 4/3 pi, and then we're replacing it with 2r cubed. Now this is our exponent rules. So remember, these both have like imaginary 1s as their exponents. So that 3 is getting distributed to both. So we're gonna have 4/3 pi, 2 cubed is 8, and then we have r cubed. Now here we have two numbers that are multiplying, so 4/3 and 8, those are both. So we need to make sure that we're simplifying as far as possible. 4/3 times 8, that's gonna give us 32 over 3 pi r cubed. All right, so that would be v of 2r. Okay, Move it down here, it wants f of -8, so we're taking -8, plugging it in. So we have the square root of -8 plus 8 plus 2. Well, -8 plus 8, that's going to give us the square root of 0 plus 2. The square root of 0 is 0, so we're going to end up getting that f of -8 is just equal to 2. All right, then the last one, all right? It's telling you that f of y is equal to 3 minus the square root of y. It wants you to take 4x squared and plug it in for that y variable, all right? So we're gonna get 3 minus the square root of 4x squared. Now, you cannot leave it like that. If you can simplify anywhere, you need to simplify. Well, I can take the square root of 4, and I know that's 2. So kind of just breaking it down step by step. I can take the square root of x squared, that's just x. So 3 minus 2x would be that simplified. You can move this up to the front or you can leave it where it's at. It doesn't really matter. All right, so that's day 1, function notation.